I'm just going to start your reading right now for Libra. So the first card you have for your past is the Nine of Swords. Yes. Okay, so yes, poor woman. So this is what I'm seeing in this card. I actually don't think this is about you. I think this is about someone who you were very familiar with, who you once knew a lot. That doesn't even make sense. Who you knew very well once. Okay, but now you're not around them as much. That's what I'm seeing. That makes more sense. So yeah, it's not about you. It's not about you. So don't panic. I am getting a really, really, really heavy energy. And I think this is coming from someone who, yeah, you weren't involved. You're not involved with them romantically. You might have been at one time, or there might be some other tie that you have with them. I am seeing money around this, so I don't know if you had that tie with them. Maybe you ran a business together. Maybe this is about a divorce and it might have already happened. Maybe you still have some kind of financial link to this problem, or maybe there's a link through children. It might be that, or you might just have a link because you like them and you used to know them once and now you don't see them as much anymore. And there is money around this, definitely. They're struggling financially, that's what I'm seeing, or they were at this time. I think they probably still are. They were very, very, very alone as well. I think they still are. I'm seeing them working really, really hard, doing everything they can to get themselves out of this situation. They're not a lazy person, not at all. They are not lazy. This is not self-inflicted. They came under some kind of financial problem, whether they lost their job, I don't know. And yeah, they're really struggling. They're doing everything they can. You don't have any animosity toward them. I'm not feeling anything like that. I think you have very calm feelings about this person. You're not angry. So if this is someone you were in a relationship with once, there's no animosity between you. And I don't think many people around them know what they're going through, because I think, for one, they're a very proud person. And I think also they just have their head down working. I don't think they have any time to really talk to any people at this time. And I think if they did have the time, they probably wouldn't tell them because they're very proud. So that goes around in circles like that. So this all might give you a clue as to who this is. And it might be affecting someone else as well. I don't know if they have a child. I'm seeing someone they're taking care of. I'm not seeing any physical problems with this child. I'm not seeing neglect or anything terrible like that. It's nothing like that. But what I am seeing is there is a lot of stress in the home. And I think this person's doing everything they can to not be stressed, but of course it's showing. So there's stress around them and there's stress around somebody else who they're taking care of. So I think, if you know who this is, if this is all resonating with you, I think you should maybe just very, very sensitively find out how they are. They're very proud. They won't want to accept help. I'm seeing that. But I think you're very good with people. You're a very careful person, a very thoughtful person. So I think you'd be very good at kind of making them feel at ease. So see if you can step in. I think they'll probably resist help initially, but don't be fooled by that. I think deep down they will be relieved by any help that you have to give them. So if that resonates with you, please reach out to this person, because I think they are really, really struggling. If that doesn't, then that's absolutely fine. That's just what I was seeing now. So the next card you have for your past is the Ten of Pentacles. So okay, things went badly for this person, but I think for you, things have improved a bit financially, actually. You're not rolling around in money or anything like that. I wish I could say you are, but things are fine. I think you're building things up for yourself. You're saving. I'm seeing children again. So there are children somewhere in this, so you might be putting some money aside for education. It might be that. I'm also seeing someone else around you. I'm seeing a love connection, someone you're with now, or someone who's around you now, some kind of love connection. So there's a slow feeling around this. There's a bit of unsurety as well. I think there's something that neither of you felt comfortable talking about. It might still be like that now. But I think you both knew you had to talk about this. It was a little bit like the elephant in the room. And I think there were times when you kind of wanted to talk about this, and then there were times where you just said, look, I won't talk about this because, you know, it's kind of like, I just don't want to stress about this now. I'm not going to bring up this subject again. It just makes us both feel really negative, so I'm going to ignore it. And that's fine for a while, but it's always there. You know, it's the elephant in the room. You know, you needed to talk about this. You might still need to talk about this. You know, if you look at the couple in the middle of this card, they look fine. They look as if they're having a kind of a brief conversation, but then they're about to walk off, you know, so they're not having a deep conversation. You need to have a deep conversation if you haven't already. There is a lot of tension around this conversation. That's probably why you're avoiding this conversation, but it has to be done. It absolutely has to be done. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have your past is the Five of Pentacles, yes. Okay, so I think I'm seeing this a little bit more clearly now. This is about this thing you have to talk about. So, yeah, there's something in the way of progressing in this relationship, this partnership I'm seeing in the Ten of Pentacles. Something is stopping you from progressing. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. I think this has come up in some of your other readings, some kind of roadblock in this relationship. You know, this person that you're with, this your partner, they want to push this. They want to progress. I think there might be some pressure around them to progress. But they do feel quite left out, second best, not good enough, because this is not progressing. That's why they're feeling like these people on this card. You know, you're not doing this on purpose, but I'm getting a really strong feeling whatever this is in the way of this progressing. There's some big roadblock. This is probably this thing that you can't talk about. Yeah, they think that you're the one that has to remove this big roadblock or this barrier. That's what I'm seeing. And for some reason, it's really difficult for you to do this, I think. There might be... yeah, I think there's some kind of delicate situation around this. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings. It's something like that. It's difficult. It's stressful for you. Brings up a lot of emotions for you to kind of tackle this thing. And, you know, they don't want to leave you. Your partner doesn't want to leave you. They're not that frustrated yet. But I think if you want things to work out with this person, this definitely needs to be fixed in some way. You know, they're quite upset about this. You know, I'm seeing them thinking things like, you know, everything would be perfect if it wasn't for this. So they really do think that your relationship is fantastic, perfect. It's just this thing. It's really getting to them. They probably have a lot of pressure around them from other people as well. You know, I'm seeing people around them saying to them, oh, why aren't you doing this together? It might be like, why haven't you moved in together? Why aren't you married? It's something like that. So, and they have to say to these people, oh, I don't know, or whatever. And it's kind of stressing them. So, yeah, this roadblock, it just looks like Mount Everest to them. It is the only thing that they think is in the way of you progressing, but it's huge. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense to you, but it does need to be addressed. Something has to be done about this. Yeah, you need to talk about this. You need to do something. Something has to be done. So the first card you have here present is the Three of Wands. Yeah, again, you're not making, you know, you're not, what I'm seeing, yeah, they're very upset with you. This is taking a long, long time. This is the card of waiting. I'm getting a bit flustered because I'm seeing several things here. Yeah, so you do have to do some waiting. You do have to negotiate with someone. It is a person that you don't want to hurt, I think, that's around this. This person that you don't want to hurt might be bothering your partner as well. They might be saying, why do they care about how they feel? They don't care about how I feel. They should care about how I feel. But it's not a competition. It's not that they're against another person. Again, I'm not seeing any third parties around this, but you do have to take someone else into consideration. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, I think this whole thing just seems like a bit of a minefield for you. You're just really, really stressed by this whole thing. I think you're going to have to navigate some really, really difficult things here. It definitely could be done, but you can't just snap your fingers and do this. There's some negotiation in here, and I think there might even have to be some papers signed. I'm seeing documents. There's some kind of agreement. Something has to be sorted out between you and someone else, I think. And even if you did everything right now, I think it'd still take a long, long time until this is over. And then there probably, you know, there might be other problems that come up as well. Sorry, I'm really stumbling over my words. I'm trying to get this out for you. Yeah, there's some regret that you have. You made a decision in your past. You might have signed something, because I keep on seeing papers and things being signed. And you really regret some decision you made in the past, and that's caused whatever this problem is. So this is probably why they think you're responsible for this. Now, it's not just you that's the problem here around this relationship. I think they need to understand that. I think you've done a lot for your partner. I think you've done a lot to be with your partner. And you do want to sort this out. But I think the thought of doing this is bringing up a lot for you. It's difficult. It's tied up in a lot of things. It brings up emotions for you as well. So it's not just a matter of ticking a box, doing a practical thing and it's done. It's a huge, difficult, emotional minefield for you. And I really think they need to be a little bit more understanding of that, because they're feeling pressured. They're putting that pressure onto you, and that's stressing you out and making you feel worse. If you had less pressure on you, you'd probably be able to do this a lot easier. So I think maybe this is something you need to talk to them about as well, if this is resonating with you. Okay, so the next card you have here present is the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is very, very beautiful. I'm suddenly getting a lifting feeling, a feeling of all the stress being lifted in this card. There's so much stress so far in this reading, and now I'm feeling it lift when I see this. So I actually think this will eventually be sorted out. You know, when it comes to relationships, this card can be about strengthening. It can be about setting up a permanent home. It can be about seclusion sometimes as well, and just being left to enjoy your time together. You know, if you see a house when it comes to love, it can symbolize some kind of permanency. And this is a country home, so it's secluded. So this stress, I think it is going to leave you at some time. I think there is definite potential for this to work out very well, for you to stay together. This is definitely something that can be long-term. Absolutely, I'm seeing that here. But yeah, I think you still both need to have some kind of a conversation, a calm conversation with no blame, no arguing. I think you need to put a plan together, a realistic plan together. And I think this plan needs to take both of you into account. And then when you have this plan set up, you can both move forward with that plan, doing things to sort this all out. And, you know, I just think if something concrete was set up, a concrete plan that was actually happening, put into motion, they'd feel a lot better. And you'd feel a lot less pressured as well, because it would be happening. So I really hope that makes sense to someone who needs to hear that, because I know this whole reading is becoming very, very specific about a relationship problem. So I'm sorry, single people, this is just what's coming up here. It's for someone who needs to hear this. So that's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have here present is the Page of Cups. So yeah, when I see this card next to the Six of Cups or near it, You know, there's a really innocent, really sweet feeling around this. So I think these cards might also be a reminder to both of you to maybe get back to the old feelings, the feelings of how you felt when you first met, when you first got together, before all this stress happened. Yeah, you do need, you do need a plan. But once that's kind of in place and all set up, maybe just enjoy each other, just laugh, do some simple things. You know, the Six of Cups can be about nostalgia, so you might want to go back to some of the places that you went to when you first met. You might want to try that. You know, I think if you do both of these things, you set up a plan and you get back to just enjoying each other, having fun together. I think the combination of those two things will be really, really powerful, really positive, and I think that will push you forward as a couple together. So try that if that resonates. Think about all of that. So yeah, the first card you have, your future, is the Ace of Wands. So yeah, fantastic. Okay, so this is looking a lot better now. There was a lot of heaviness early on. This is all starting to lift now. So again, if you're in this relationship, if this is all resonating, there are some fantastic solutions here coming out with this card. There's also passion as well in this card, and that's fantastic. You might have lost some of that passion because of all this stress going on, but if that resonates with you, this is all going to come back now, so that's fantastic. The other thing I'm seeing here is a lot of your confidence coming back. I don't think you were very, very low in confidence, but you have lost some confidence. I think you did go through a time, or you have been through a time, where you were sort of questioning yourself a bit. And I think this is probably around your job, around your career, or whatever, business, whatever this thing is that you do. And I'm just seeing, yeah, you had this kind of cloud in your head and this kind of feeling of, oh, am I good enough? Should I be doing this? Am I actually, you know, helping people? So you do some kind of helping of some people in your job. I don't know if you do teaching, but you know, something about helping people, I think. So the other thing I'm seeing here, I don't know if this is going to make any sense to you, but I have to say what I see. So maybe you got your qualifications in an alternative way, or maybe you don't have the same kind of qualifications as other people who you're working with. It might be something like that. That might have been bothering you a bit as well. Maybe someone said something about that. I don't know. But just know you've always been good enough, more than good enough. And I think you're going to realise that again at this time. Your confidence is going to come back. And I think that's going to show in your work as well. You know, I think your work was fine when you're going through this kind of confidence crash, you know, but now it's going to be fantastic. Your work's going to really flourish. Yeah, it's going to be on fire, actually. I always see fire when I see this. Obviously, this is the fire card, but I actually see this as a match a lot of the time. So yeah, you're going to be on fire. And, you know, your words are going to come out perfectly when you explain things. And I think this positivity is going to reflect back on you as well. You're going to get some very positive feedback in your work as well. So, yeah, this confidence is going to stay with you as well for a long time into the future. So really make the most of this. Also, while you're in this really confident mode, feeling a lot better about yourself, try and tackle as much as you can with this thing, this roadblock. You know, see if you can talk to this person, see if you can negotiate things, see if you can go back to these papers and try and renegotiate whatever this is around this. Talk to this person who you're worried about hurting. You know, because at this time, I think you will have the right things to say, you'll know what to say. So this will be the perfect time to tackle that as well when you've got your confidence back. So the next card you have, your past, is, sorry, not your past, why am I saying that? Your future. I don't know what's wrong with me. The next card you have, your future, is death. What is wrong with me? Okay, this is fantastic. I love this. So obviously the death card is about big changes, sweeping changes, going from one situation into a completely new situation. It's like a whole change, big, huge change. So what I'm seeing here is being real, reality. I'm really seeing you and your partner really starting to open up at this time, really starting to have some of these real conversations, and you're not going to be afraid to do that. You're very, very, very afraid of making these having these big conversations in the Ten of Pentacles. Now all of that energy is lifting at this time. You're more open, you're more real, you're going to have them. So these conversations. So I'm not seeing arguing, I'm not seeing blaming. All I'm seeing is realness, authenticity. And yeah, this is going to be a huge turning point in your relationship, a huge change. Yeah, and again, that's what the Death card's all about, as you know. So if you look at the flag on this card, there's a white rose on this flag. And the interesting thing about this rose is it only has 5 petals, so it's a wild rose. And all roses used to look like this until different kinds of roses were kind of made, cultivated, bred and all of that. So this is the natural rose, the authentic rose, the real rose. That's why I'm seeing realness. And this realness between you, this is going to make this great big change, this turning a corner in your relationship. It's going to be the start of a path that leads you to the 6 of Cups, stability, a home, seclusion, and, you know, positivity. So this is really beautiful. I don't need to say any more about this. I really, really hope this is resonating with you. It is going to in the future. You won't know that yet, of course. So I don't know what's wrong with me. So the last card you have, your future, is the 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, there's still going to be a lot of waiting. You know, this man's looking over his work, he's waiting and all of that. This is this thing you're still trying to sort out, this roadblock. So there is going to be delays, there's waiting, there's all of that. But the feeling around it isn't going to be as stressful as it used to be, because you'll have this thing in place, you'll know where you're going. It's going to be a little bit like this man. You know, he works hard, this farmer, this man. He's pausing, he's looking over what he's done, you know, and he looks quite relaxed. He looks okay about it. He knows that there's progress happening. So whether it's slow or whatever, it is happening, and that's how you're going to be feeling. That's going to help you to push forward as well. So yeah, you are going to be doing these things, I think, or something similar. And yeah, this is just so relaxing, really, really lovely. It's a completely different feeling to what I was seeing earlier on. So I do hope this is going to resonate with you. Again, I know this was very specific. This was about a specific relationship. I'm stumbling again. I don't know what it is. But these messages had to go out to someone. That's what happens. I get people saying to me, oh, you should do single ones and you should do relationship ones and you should do this and that. I just read what I say. So if it comes out as single, if it comes out as relationship, it comes out as no relationship, that's what I say. And this is what I was seeing here. So I think these messages had to go to someone. So Libra, I hope this resonated. As you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for being patient with me stumbling through this.